Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspirational juice. It is September the 10th, 2021, and today the topic is bribery and influence. Friends, well, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I tell you one thing, man. I lamented over this topic today. I ended up looking up a lot of different things and reading a lot of different things in the Bible and just trying to get some understanding about like what I'm seeing and hearing and what God wanted me to say. What God wanted me to say about it. And so eventually, after just clearing my mind and just being still, for a moment, ultimately I ended up looking up bribery, and these are the things that I guess help me make sense of my observations. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get into it. We can talk about what happened yesterday and all that stuff in the after show. So if that's what you're interested in, again, you guys can just catch me live. Catch the live version of this if you are listening on the podcast. But however, let's get into the juice. So the definition of bribe says money or favor given or promised in order to influence the judgment or conduct of a person in a position of trust. Then influence, the definition says the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something of the effect itself. Friends, man, on one hand, no judgment, you know what I'm saying? I understand that we all gotta, we're all living our own journeys, and sometimes we stay in our bubbles, and it's like we don't see what's going on outside of whatever's going on in our personal life. And I understand that was me not long ago, right? And it could be still me to a certain extent now, because like I think I told you guys yesterday, or at some point I told you guys, I'm relatively content in this season of, I'm about to say foolishness. Or this season of like just uncertainty of everything that's going on. But for some reason, I think by putting my faith and trust in God in this season has helped me to have peace. However, again, I'm just seeing all around me this subject today, bribery and influence. And the reason I say that is because, well, the more I observe, the more that I see repetition. I see repetition. I see things moving in a certain direction. And I'm concerned, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I trust God. So, and I understand that everything's going to work together for his good, for the good of those that love him, and, it's according to his plan and everything like that. So, I'm, I guess, at peace to a certain extent, but I'm still concerned. I'm still concerned. And in a way, it's a little bit confusing because you would think that, leaders, I'll just focus on leaders, right? You would think that individuals that are in a leadership position, especially as Christians, and Bible believers or Bible readers, if I just talk to us for a minute, right? According to my understanding, the Bible is the truth, right? And if the Bible is the truth, then there's things that it says that it's very clear about. There's things that it prophesies and tells us about the future. There's things that it tells us about life. And I think, again, my journey with doing this daily inspiration, with taking out this daily time with God and doing this daily Bible study situation, I've come to see that no matter what I look up, no matter what random topic that comes into my mind, or no matter what I've happened to try to find and get some understanding about in regards to life and everything, I've been able to find something in the Word of God. So, again, with that being said, you would think other Bible readers would come to at least similar conclusions, if not the exact same conclusions when it comes to certain things. However, what I see is the complete opposite. I see leaders going completely against the Bible. But they're supposed to be biblical leaders. And for me, that's concerning. It's confusing. And, I guess if I was somebody that, I guess what would be considered maybe like a baby Christian, or somebody that was like just getting started in this game or something. And not to be like I'm just so, mature or something. I'm just saying, like, well, I've shared with you guys already that it's been my desire for truth. It's been my desire to receive, some spiritual meat and everything like that. And so that's why I've gravitated to individuals that I see that are teaching and speaking and preaching and have the fruits of the Bible and whatnot. But anyway, but what I was saying is that if I was someone getting started, I would be quite confused. I'd be quite confused. I would be quite probably turned off by the word, because I wouldn't see the leaders or the influencers or the people that are supposed to be a little bit wiser than me. They would be kind of leading me astray in this season. Now, those that hear, if you have the ears to hear, then let you hear. If you have the eyes to see, then Lord, I pray that you see what I'm talking about here. But even if we set aside faith and Bible for a moment, if we did it just for a split second, again, the state of our current situation in the world should be a little concerning, regardless of if it's, if you think about it from the spiritual aspect or not. Because even when you look at just things that are happening, right, and things that are being said and stuff like that, you would see that even so, it's still going in a certain direction. And for me, that's one of the things that's been eye-opening to me. Yes, I've been building faith, and I've been on this journey of study and all this stuff too. But I would say one of the things that helped me to see was to make the observation of how much I'm seeing the same things being said and done, no matter where I'm looking. And for me, it's a little bit strange, because let's think. I'm just thinking about America right now. I'm sorry, the rest of the world that may be listening to me. Unfortunately, I don't know everything that's going on in y'all's country. I barely know everything that's going on here in America, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a guru again. However, I would just say that I can say that I've witnessed multiple shows, multiple performers, multiple people that are in the media and all these different things sharing the same mindset about certain topics. Now, if nothing else, America is a melting pot. Can we agree? Can we agree on that? That we know America to be a melting pot of humans. It's all kinds of humans from all around the world, and that lives here, right? Now, it's pretty clear, those of you all that are watching me live, then you see that I am an African American woman, right? Or maybe some would call black woman, some might call something else, I don't know, but listen, I am an African American woman. And in the African American community, believe it or not, we are quite diverse as well. That's just one community. That's just one race. We're very diverse. We're diverse in thought. We're diverse in the way we look, skin tone, like all these different things, right? And so it's amazing how no matter where you turn on the TV, and it could be two different people from two different sides of, the America, it could be people in the north and people in the south and people all around where we know there's diversity, especially, again, not only in looks, but in thought. No matter where you look, though, in the media, and now I'm just going to talk about the African American community for a moment. If I just take a look, it don't matter. Look on the talk shows, look on reality TV, look on any movie. Well, you can't necessarily go by movies per se, but kind of, because you can still look at that and still see that some certain things are being pushed. But let's just talk about the quote unquote reality TV, or quote unquote things that are supposed to be representing people in their individual thoughts, not art. Okay, so if we think about that, it's amazing. Again, it's amazing how so many different people, different places in the U.S., probably don't have anything in common other than maybe that they're African American. Somehow, all share the same thought. There's not much diverse of opinion when it comes to what's seen on mainstream media. Now, to me, when I noticed that, I was a little bit like, wow, because especially with situations where, for example, okay, a talk show. Let's talk about a talk show, right? And then there's one in my mind right now that's I done slowed down with watching stuff, but back when I was watching things like this, there's a couple of talk shows in my mind right now. But let's just talk about y'all know about The Real. Okay, so let's talk about The Real. Back when Miss Tia was on there, or Tamara, whichever one she was. My bad. And so somehow, right, these four women that do different, there's an Asian lady, a Hispanic lady, and a couple of black ladies. And they were very clear that they had different opinions about different subjects and whatnot. You would see that in certain conversations, but in certain other conversations, what you would see is an agreement of thoughts, and then you would see, I would say, the Christian or biblical thought being suppressed. And for me, that again is one of the reasons I started GSL, to be honest. But I just think, I personally feel that we as people, humans, whatever, should allow the diverse opinions. At the end of the day, yeah, I believe I have the truth with the Bible, right? But hey, I still agree that if somebody don't want to agree with the Bible, hey, you have that choice. Because guess what? God gave you that free will and choice, right? So you don't have to believe. He didn't force you to believe, so you don't have to. Now, do I think you should? Yeah. That's why. It's one of the reasons I wake up in the morning and do this, to share with others. And yeah, that's what we're called to do, in case you didn't know, because that's what the Bible says we should do. Spreading the gospel and whatnot. However, at the end of the day, hey, God gave us all the free will, and I understand that, and so I'm not forcing nobody to believe what I believe. And I think that's good, to have that diverse opinion. I don't think forcing people to share the same opinion is a good thing. So with that being said, again, even though like I'm saying all that to say, if I take the spiritual side out for that brief moment, I still see the way that influence, or let's just say the media is influence on our thought by putting one thought out there for all people. And if y'all are concerned about that, hey, I mean, by all means, you know, again, you're free to do whatever you want. However, this is one of the things that was the inspiration for me today, because I mean, the Bible is clear about this thing called bribery. Because if you're wondering how this is, or why all these people are sharing the same thought, then hey, friend, I mean, I think it's very clear that these people are being bribed to a certain extent. Now, maybe it may not be, they may not see it as bribery. They may just see it as a donation towards their organizations. They may see it as a payment, you know, to say whatever. I mean, you know, we know what influencers do. You know, we know, I mean, I guess I'm an influencer to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like, I have brands that I quote unquote, you know, represent. Like, you know, if I like the brand and I shout them out or whatever the case is, you know, maybe I'll get a little percent. Like, we understand that concept when it comes to everything else. But for some reason, we don't seem to understand that this thing could be happening when it comes to the thing of the spirits as well. And for me, that's a little bit of an issue if a spiritual leader is taking a bribe. Now, I don't know if that's the problem with you. However, let me just share what the word has to say. So Exodus 23:8, it says, "And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the clear-sighted and subverts the cause of those who are in the right." Again, it says, "You shall take no bribe." Spiritual leaders, if you're taking bribes of any sort and it's influencing your messages to the people, like, honestly, like, I mean, the Bible already has something to say about that. Actually, it says it in Psalm 145:18. I'm gonna just let that marinate. I guess those that know. If you don't know, look it up. That's what the word has to say about individuals that do that. And so I don't have to put nothing on you, friend. Like that, the word already does that. So I don't want to say anything to make it be like, oh, Miracle is cursing somebody. Like, I'm not. I'm just saying what the word say. I'm just reading to y'all. So y'all can let that marinate on your heart, souls, and minds today. Again, in Deuteronomy 16:19, it says, "You shall not pervert justice. You shall not show partiality, and you shall not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and subverts the cause of the righteous." I mean, to me, these are very clear, you know, and at the end of the day, like, I don't have to sit here and try to call out all the people. Like, okay, this person and that person. I mean, hey, y'all can see. Well, maybe you can't, but for those that see, they can see. And at the end of the day, the Bible constantly tells us, hey, you'll know them by their fruit. You'll know the false prophets. You'll know the wolves in sheep clothing by their fruit. And if they're saying or doing things that are contrary to the word of God, then most likely they're probably one of those people, one of those wolves in sheep's clothing, one of those individuals that are possibly have taken some type of bribe. Now, friend, maybe I'm saying something far-fetched to y'all right now, you know. So, hey, if you want, go DuckDuckGo, because you might, or Google. You can still Google too. Go to one of those places and look up about the rented evangelicals. Look that up and let that marinate in your heart, souls, and minds today. If y'all think that for some reason people can't be taking some type of payment to say the things that they're saying and to do the things that they're doing. I just think it's amazing. Like, I was like, without even talking about it, sort of talking, I just think it's very interesting. Like, it's like, because it'll literally say like, oh, we're sponsored by the government, or we're sponsored by, X, Y, and Z, or whoever the case is. And nobody thinks about that, right? Nobody thinks about, wait, who's behind it? You know what I mean? Like, so they have, I mean, I've seen so many things now. I've seen events, I've seen all kinds of things that is pushing us to think a certain way and do things a certain way. And do things against what the Bible say. That's my main point. Like, forget everything else. To do things contrary to what the Word has to say about how we should handle and do things. And I mean, I guess I got a little issue with those that say that they are quote unquote leaders, that those that are pastors or whatever the case is that are doing and operating under such, because y'all are supposed to be leaders of the flock. And I mean, listen, like, you're leading people astray. But hey, I'm just one little person making observations here. Got one more verse for you all, and it is Proverbs 7 and 8. It says, a bribe is like a magic stone in the eyes of the one who gives it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. Yeah, I heard this quote. It goes, he who pays the piper chooses the tune. That's exactly what's going on here, friend. Like, whoever's paying someone to say something can influence many by paying that individual to say, hey, we just talked about the concept of influencers. We just talked about the concept of how that operates. But let me just go ahead and say it again, friend. Like, same thing with me. Okay, for example, y'all know that I go hard for Bro's Bites. Now, he's not necessarily paying me to share about him, but I mean, if he gets booked, maybe he'll use my services. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Like, when I get booked, I use his services, and he'll shout me out. I'll shout him out. X, Y, and Z. For some reason, do we not think that this could be happening in the church? Especially if it goes against Bible. Listen, if your spiritual leader is teaching something that is against Bible, then I don't think that should be your spiritual leader. That's just me. That's just making an observation. You do whatever you want to do, but yeah, because the Bible's supposed to be the truth, right? I mean, either it's the truth or not. So, if it's the truth and your spiritual leader is teaching against the truth, then what does that make that? Makes it a lie, in case you didn't want to finish my sentence for me. But y'all can let that marinate on your heart, souls, and minds this morning. There is some Bible in the Go Deeper section that you guys can check out. Hopefully that will encourage you and inspire you to stay on the side of good, stay to be influenced by the Word and not by people that may be accepting these bribes or whatever the case is. Again, hey, think about this stuff, pray about this stuff. Like I said, the more that I've seen or whatever, and then again, the more that I prayed for truth, right? I pray for truth and seeking again spiritual meat and all these different things. Where it's like, and then now I'm seeing and hearing all this stuff. But again, regardless of if I was seeing and hearing the other stuff, I still saw, if nothing else, the consistent one voice of a certain group of people. But that's just one example, though. I'm just giving the one example. That there's no way that if that we could be so diverse and have one thought that's across all platforms. So, y'all can let that marinate. The Bible verse of today is Psalm 145:18. It says, "The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God's Sex and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Just a heads up, tonight a new episode of God's Sex and Love, the talk show, will be going live. It is a chat with Miss Julie Sanford, and she's going to talk about her movement called Married to Addiction. So I hope that you guys tune into that tonight at 7 p.m. on our Facebook and on our YouTube. And yeah, y'all, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you already know that your girl is now an author, and my very first publication is none other than a creation inspired by the juice. That's right, friends. You can go on Amazon.com and find the Juice 30-Day Bible Study Journal. And this, friends, I hope and pray will help you create your own Bible study experience similar to the one that your girl here shares with you every day here on God's Sex and Love.